In the last video where I talked about Johnny Lawrence, I went over his arcs through seasons 1 through 4 and analyzed how Johnny went from the guy who couldn't get over a stupid kick and now his life sucks to being the bigger man and making the sacrifices needed to move forward and have some responsibility. We've seen in season 1 the comeback arc, but his anger infecting the others like with Hawk and Miguel, and in season 2 he makes up for it and we see Johnny learning from his past mistakes, no longer teaching no mercy, and just when everything is going good, Robby would kick Miguel and Kreese would betray Johnny. Season 3 sent Johnny back to square one with him being at arguably the worst point in his life. However, he remembered the best parts of it, and if it wasn't for Miguel, half of those moments wouldn't even exist. And so seeing Johnny reset as a sensei, seeing how he learned from his mistakes not only affected other students like Hawk, but also made his son, who hated him for so long, give him a chance. And in season 4, we see Johnny preparing Miguel, but also trying to fix his relationship with Robby. And thanks to Silver luring Johnny in with Robby, he gets beaten up pretty bad with him saying I love you to Robby instead of Miguel. This crushes Miguel mentally and would be the main reason why he didn't fight at the tournament, and we see how by the end of season 4, Johnny is on the border of being actual friends with LaRusso, since the alley stuff is under the bridge along with them putting their differences aside so Hawk and Sam could give it their 100%. However, Johnny realized he messed up with Miguel and didn't let him do what he wanted. He was so scared of losing Miguel that it made him lose Miguel in the first place. Does that make sense? If you watch the show, you get me. Season 4 ends with Johnny regretting what happened with Robby but making up for it and now has to fix another mistake he made. Season 5 legit starts off with Johnny and Robby already in New Mexico and stopping by a store for the road. From his conversations with Robby in the car, we see how he genuinely wants to fix things, and if Robby is too, he could actually get something out of this trip. For example, squashing his beef with Miguel. He even apologizes to Robby for not being entirely honest, but his intentions were pretty clear. And Robby seeing Johnny putting in actual effort, plus he is right about the Miguel thing, he would stay on the trip and go on this redemption arc with Johnny. Before finding Miguel, we get this father-son duo sharing a lot of screen time, helping each other fight, and Johnny rooting for him to eat a pepper. We even see both of them laughing at how Robby legit cheated their way out of there, and it's great to see this father-son duo actually being a father-son duo. And not just Johnny saying, Robby please, and Robby just going, I hate you, dad! Now when they find Miguel, Johnny ensures to him that everything's okay, showing to Miguel that despite Johnny not being his actual father, he still treats Miguel like a son, as he found he could help Miguel and not Robby. And that's why I genuinely love this scene, as it shows that Johnny knows he screwed up, but despite that, he was there when it mattered most. The next thing in store for Johnny is to fix Miguel and Robby's relationship, but manages to figure it out by halfway through the season thanks to Daniel giving him the idea of letting all the fight out of them, which actually worked. Without any of the aggression present, we see Miguel and Robby have a heart-to-heart moment, and with Johnny then announcing Carmen's pregnancy, they'd put their differences aside. Oh, there's something I forgot, guys. I added this bozo to the script. No, I'm just kidding. Go subscribe to his channel.
With Carmen being pregnant, we see Johnny terrified that he won't be ready like last time, which caused the whole fallout between Johnny and Robby in the first place. However, Johnny by this point has gotten past his defeat, isn't a kid anymore, and isn't holding a grudge. Johnny has learned how to be the bigger person in these situations, and we see that in order to prepare for the baby, he basically remakes the entire house, gets over the issues he has, and is now an Uber driver. Making these changes realistically are very difficult, but we see Johnny willing to do what it takes for his family. We see this in the pawn shop scene where Johnny and the pawn shop guy have a heart-to-heart for the first time in the series. The pawn shop guy was always there to help out Johnny whenever he needed stuff, and now bro is legit being his Miyagi. Another scene that should be noted as well, which defines how much Johnny has grown, is when Daniel tries picking a fight with him. The man who started this whole thing with Johnny, and technically if this was any other season, Johnny and Daniel would have for sure just beaten each other up. But Johnny at this point is at a point where he only needs to fight the battles he needs to and helps out Daniel, who's similar to pre-season 1 Johnny. It's like he legitimately just talks to his past self, and we see just how far Johnny has come.
Johnny would go on to help Chosen to drop Silver, and we get to see how much in common these two have. So much so that they not only team up twice to take down Silver, but we see Johnny giving Chosen the love advice he needed, since now Johnny has it all figured out. Johnny as well tries his best to save LaRusso when Mike jumps him, but he's too drunk, and would end up helping Mike break into Terry's household and fight Silver along with every other sensei besides Kim. We see Chosen deal with Silver while Mike gets knocked out pretty early on, and Johnny legit has to fight 5 other senseis, which he almost manages to win, by the way, by himself. He went from needing to team up with Chosen to fight one sensei to facing that same sensei plus 4 others and almost winning alone. Not only does Johnny push through with pure determination, but through the sheer fact that he wanted to live to see the family that he's always wanted. fucking cut Tyron Woodley's fingers! And thanks to Mike in the end, the remaining senseis are defeated, and with the final enemy being the one person that Johnny hates, I think season 6 is going to be more so focusing on Johnny's conflict with Kreese. But let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of my analysis on Johnny Lawrence in season 5, and comment down below what other character should I analyze next. Leave a like as well, and subscribe if you are new to the channel, along with hitting the bell icon. Thanks once again for watching, and have a nice rest of the day, everybody.